This is stage 2 of the rebuild. We have to take this motor back to another location because we need some expertise. We got to do a few things before we put the head on. Yeah, we're gonna get this loaded up. The pressure washer, tire right there. Oh,
Mayday! Alright, we're at the second location, pulling off the ARP head studs because we got a new set over there. I know we can reuse these, but since these are like the Allen key ones on the top, like a few of them stripped, so we just went ahead and bought some new ones. But yeah, we're in Sergio's office / room / automotive shop / state champion for wrestling / dog pound. Right, Widow? Hey, Widow. Come on, lazy. Get up. Go to the bed. Go to the couch. Go! Go to the couch now! Come on! Get to the couch. Such a good dog! Such a good dog! A fucking good dog! Such a good dog! Ginormous dog! I got big hands. This dude makes my hands look small.
Thermostat, which goes in here, and I repainted. I power washed it, sanded it, and then I repainted it with enamel so that it looks fresh and clean again. I purple powered all this so it looks pretty clean. It's a new oil filter that I'm gonna only have for a couple of miles, like 300 miles, and I'm gonna do the oil change so all the debris can come out.
What are you doing, Guido? You guys see the RX-8? That thing's gonna either be one JZ swap, the SR20 swap, LS swap, or whichever money can buy first. Might even do an F22 swap.
So this is what new ARP looks like.
You definitely need that.
I know.
You got scared. Dude, nice turbo, man. No, that looks like a very nice turbo setup you got right there. So I heard that the exhaust ports go through here, goes into this, winds this up, and then the Turbocharger right here, you know, gives extra speed to the belts, therefore giving more horsepower. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Situated, we need to clean the head, but before that I want to put these ARP head studs on. These are brand new, so I just want to oil them up and get them in there and torque them down to 7 foot-pounds. Supposedly you're supposed to hand tighten these, but I'm gonna do it to 7 foot-pounds so I know that all of them are even. And one thing about this motor though is that this corner right here, once you put it in, this one sits higher than all of them, so all are even besides this one. This one's gonna sit a little higher, so that's one thing you should be worried about on this motor.
So right now we're just applying the assembly lubricant that ARP recommends you to put on at the bottom of the thread, so that way when you start turning it in, the actual loop kind of moves up.
And before you do all this too, you gotta prep these threads in here. You gotta clean it out, and the way we did it is we got we got a compressor, which is over there. We aired it all. We sprayed brake cleaner, and then we aired it out so that they're clean, so there's no debris or any materials inside it.
Alright, so the head gasket's off the package. So what we're gonna have here is you got the letterings and these decorations on it, and then that goes to the bottom of the block or over the top of the block, and then this clear side faces upward. So just make sure you have everything lined up. You're gonna slide it in. On the land. Make sure it goes through the dowel pin. Proven difficult. Alright, so these dowel pins are new, so just,
You know, if you want, you could lube it up just a little bit so you could slide it in, but just make sure you don't want to tear the head gasket. There we go.
we like tight clearances.
These dowels are very important for those of you guys that don't think they are. They're very important. They stop vibration and they help align the head gasket to seize up to the block, or the head seize up to the block. Alright, undress this and do the honors and put it on.
This fucking heavy ass piece of metal. I'm struggling, bro. I swear to God, I'm struggling. I would see the hole. There we go.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah, so the head is actually on, and my finger's stuck up.
Is it really? Oh, what the fuck?
So we got the head on, but my finger almost came off. Like, you want to show them where it got stuck? So I'm holding the head from this little slot right here, and then when it being like so heavy, my finger just got stuck under.
If you guys need to put this in here, the breather box, make sure you put that in there. So before I get started on the head bolts, tying them all, you gotta know that there's a certain way you gotta do it. There's a sequence, you gotta go in order, and also a sequence and steps on how you torque these. I'm gonna go with 22, 38, 48, and then 60. And 60 is your last torque spec, is what you want all the bolts to be. But since these are brand new ARP head studs, you want to make sure that you do that whole sequence all the way to 60 3 times. You want to make sure you do that, because if you don't, you could have you need the bolts to be stretched. So once you tighten them 3 times, they should stretch enough, and you should get proper torque. Let's say you turn on the motor and start running it. If you are gonna torque them, make sure you do 3 steps, 3 to 4 times. 3 is good enough, and doing that will prevent the head from slipping from the block. Alright, so this is your torque wrench you're gonna use. Make sure you have a good one. I got a snap-on, and then I got this tool right here, extension with the 12 on it. This is a special tool, one of those stars. I have to use this because I can't reach down with the torque wrench by itself. There's no way I can get it without the extension, so that's about it. Alright, so this is the first 60 foot-pounds I finished. I need to unloosen all of the bolts again and re-torque them again. I need to do this 3 times so that the bolt seeds in with the head right and it does not slip later on. It's the last thing you want to have is the head slip from the block, so make sure you do it 3 times. Yeah, that's about it. So the next thing to do on the motor, I already did the torque specs all the way to 60, each of them 60 foot-pounds. Make sure there's a sequence as well. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's the sequence. You do 4 steps, which I did 22, 38, 48, and 60, so that you can evenly distribute the torque specs. Next thing to do is put the valve cover on. Once I put the valve cover, I got a new valve cover gasket, and I also have the belt, the timing belt. Make sure you put that on. But on my timing belt, I did the markings on them, so I did not have to do them or redo the timing, because redoing timing is kind of a hassle and it's patience and stuff. So all I did was the whiteout. I did whiteout on the timing belt. This is a brand new timing belt. I did whiteout, 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 and then whiteout and whiteout, and I put them here too, so that I could easily time it without me taking off, or without timing it the actual way, which is kind of a hassle. But this is the way I timed it, so that I know where my markings are. Easier way, so you don't have to go through all that hassle. Also, when you do the white markings, the whiteout, you have to make sure that the motor is at top dead center, and that's what I did before I took off, or before I did the whiteout. So make sure it's top dead center. Once you make sure of it, make your markings, and then loosen up the tensioner, and you should be good to pop it off. And then when you put it back, it's vice versa. Line up your markings, make sure they line up, and you should be good. Alrighty, here are the lines. The whiteout is lined up, and then down here, perfect line. Pretty tight. This is a tensioner, so when you want to get it tight, you move it up. It's pretty tight. Maybe a little tighter. I'm gonna do it. Maybe I need to push it up just a little tad bit, and it should be good. Alrighty, that is it for the timing, and then I can now pull this off. Make sure when you put this on, to make it top dead center, put the head on. Make sure you don't take this off. Put this timing belt first, and then you can unscrew this bolt that would have then attach to the pulley. So make sure you put the timing belt before you pull this bolt off.
Alright, the day-to-day basis of when you don't have proper tools, but you want to get stuff done, the only proper tool we're actually using is this here, and then the actual torque wrench. But our stand is
The chair.
comfort level 1000. Alright, so let's proceed. And we're right here torquing all these flywheel bolts to 80 foot-pounds. We found a website that had like a bunch of the. Hold on, I think this is slipping. Okay, we found the website that had a bunch of torque specs for the actual motor that said 76 pounds, and then we found another website that said 86 pounds. So we weren't sure if one of the people had a typo, or one of them is correct. So we're just like, let's do 80 pounds just to be in the safe zone.
Make sure you guys put the red locker and the red kind. It's your flywheel to the crank. You do not want to mess with this stuff. So make sure you put thread lock, high strength, the red one.
Alignment tool. We're gonna insert it. In most cases, you see this protruding side right here. It retains all your springs, so that usually faces outward towards the actual pressure plate. And then just slide it on. Make sure your actual pilot bearing is good. And then
The pilot bearing is with the flywheel on this. It's in there, you could see it, but we didn't explain where it was.
okay, so the pilot bearings are here.
Pilot bearing, you're right there.
And this is your alignment tool. It's gotta have a little space. Insert it. Make sure it's good. So then there should be alignment pin.
Yeah, there's a pin in there somewhere.
Let
me see.
Hold on, I found it. Okay, so that one's not the right one. It's twisting it.
There we go. Oh.
That one's not the right one. So you keep twisting it. This one's the right one. Right
There you go. It should snap in place. If it doesn't snap in real well, then it's not the right one.
Should be the right one.
So this is a good idea to use alignment tools, like $2 or $3 at a O'Reilly or your auto parts store. And you gotta have special tools for these bolts.
Well, special sockets.
Alright, so we got it's a 10mm special socket.
It's 19 foot-pounds, but I say it's 2. You know what I mean? Guys, I'm just kidding. I'm just speeding up the process. You guys ready?
19 foot-pounds.